Here's a detailed explanation of Article 338B of the Indian Constitution. Article 338B, National Commission for Backward Classes, NCBC. The inclusion of Article 338B into the Constitution of India marked a significant step in institutionalizing the rights and welfare of the socially and educationally backward classes, SEBCs. Through the Constitution, 102nd Amendment, Act, 2018, the National Commission for Backward Classes, NCBC, was granted constitutional status, elevating it from its previous statutory position under the National Commission for Backward Classes Act, 1993. This constitutional recognition reflects the state's commitment to social justice, equality, and inclusion, principles enshrined in the preamble and the directive principles of state policy. 1. Establishment of the Commission. Clause 1 of Article 338B mandates the establishment of a National Commission for Backward Classes. This body serves as a guardian of the constitutional safeguards and developmental policies aimed at uplifting the socially and educationally backward communities of India. Its creation stems from the recognition that mere legislative or executive measures are insufficient without a permanent and independent institution to monitor their implementation. 2. Composition and appointment. According to Clause 2, the Commission consists of a chairperson, vice-chairperson, and 3 other members, whose conditions of service and tenure are determined by the President of India. Clause 3 specifies that the President appoints all these members by warrant under his hand and seal, ensuring both constitutional legitimacy and executive accountability. This structure ensures a balanced representation and functional autonomy, while the President's role underscores the national importance of the Commission's mandate. 3. Power to regulate procedure. Under Clause 4, the Commission possesses the authority to regulate its own procedure, thereby granting it internal autonomy. This independence is vital for maintaining objectivity and efficiency while performing quasi-judicial and investigative functions. 4. Duties and functions of the Commission. The core functions of the NCBC are outlined in Clause 5, which broadly encompass 6 major responsibilities. A. Monitoring and evaluation. The Commission investigates and monitors matters relating to the constitutional and legal safeguards provided for SEBCs. It evaluates how effectively these safeguards are being implemented by various governmental bodies. B. Addressing complaints. It inquires into specific complaints about the denial or violation of rights and safeguards guaranteed to the backward classes. C. Advising on socio-economic development. The NCBC advises both the union and state governments on policies, plans, and developmental programs concerning SEBCs, assessing their impact and progress. D. Reporting to the President. The Commission must submit annual and special reports to the President regarding the working of the safeguards. E. Recommendations. These reports include recommendations for measures to ensure effective implementation of constitutional protections and for promoting welfare and development. F. Additional functions. The President may assign other duties related to the protection, welfare, and advancement of backward classes, thereby enabling flexibility in the Commission's scope of action. Through these functions, the NCBC serves as both a watchdog and policy advisor, bridging the gap between constitutional ideals and administrative reality. 5. Reporting mechanism and accountability. Clauses 6 and 7 establish a reporting and accountability framework. The President must lay all NCBC reports before Parliament, accompanied by a memorandum explaining actions taken or proposed, and reasons for any non-acceptance of recommendations. Similarly, where matters concern a state government, a copy of the report is sent to the state legislature, along with a corresponding memorandum. This process ensures transparency, executive accountability, and legislative oversight, reinforcing democratic governance principles. 6 Powers of a Civil Court. Clause 8 equips the NCBC with powers equivalent to those of a civil court while investigating or inquiring into complaints. These include summoning individuals and examining them on oath, requiring discovery and production of documents, receiving evidence on affidavits, requisitioning public records, issuing commissions for the examination of witnesses and documents, exercising any other powers specified by the President. This quasi-judicial authority enhances the Commission's ability to conduct independent, fair, and thorough investigations, ensuring its decisions are based on credible evidence and procedural fairness. 7. Consultation Mandate. Under Clause 9, both the Union and state governments are required to consult the NCBC on all major policy matters affecting SEBCs. This clause institutionalized the consultative role of the Commission in policymaking, thereby integrating backward class welfare into the national planning process. However, the proviso clarifies that this consultation requirement does not apply to matters under Article 342A(3), which relates to the central list of socially and educationally backward classes, a power reserved for the President and Parliament. 8. Constitutional and social significance. The constitutional status of the NCBC symbolizes India's progressive journey towards social democracy. It elevates the welfare of backward classes from administrative policy to a constitutional guarantee, aligning with the ideals of Articles 14, 15, 4, 16, 4, and 46, which collectively advocate equality and affirmative action. By institutionalizing the NCBC, the Constitution reinforces the principle that social justice is integral to political democracy. The Commission acts as a watchdog against discrimination, a forum for redress, and an instrument of social transformation. 9. Challenges and criticism. Despite its constitutional empowerment, the NCBC faces certain challenges. Limited enforcement power, its recommendations are advisory, not binding. Potential overlap of jurisdiction with state commissions and other social justice bodies. Concerns over politicization of appointments and policy influence. Nevertheless, its role remains crucial in addressing persistent social and educational inequities and ensuring equitable development. 10. Conclusion. Article 338B stands as a cornerstone of India's constitutional commitment to social equity. By granting the NCBC constitutional status, the framers recognized that the upliftment of the socially and educationally backward classes is not merely a policy option but a constitutional obligation. The Commission's multifaceted role, spanning investigation, advisory, and monitoring functions, serves as an enduring safeguard for one of India's most vulnerable sections. In essence, Article 338B embodies the Constitution's moral vision of an inclusive India, where equality is not just a legal right but a lived reality for all citizens. The Constitution of India. Part 16. Special provisions relating to certain classes. Article 338B. National Commission for Backward Classes. 1. There shall be a commission for the socially and educationally backward classes to be known as the National Commission for Backward Classes. 2. Subject to the provisions of any law made in this behalf by Parliament, the Commission shall consist of a chairperson, vice-chairperson and 3 other members, and the conditions of service and tenure of office of the chairperson, vice-chairperson and other members so appointed shall be such as the President may by rule determine. 3. The chairperson, vice-chairperson and other members of the Commission shall be appointed by the President by warrant under his hand and seal. 4. The Commission shall have the power to regulate its own procedure. 5. It shall be the duty of the Commission a. To investigate and monitor all matters relating to the safeguards provided for the socially and educationally backward classes under this Constitution or under any other law for the time being in force or under any order of the government and to evaluate the working of such safeguards. b. To inquire into specific complaints with respect to the deprivation of rights and safeguards of the socially and educationally backward classes. c. To participate and advise on the socio-economic development of the socially and educationally backward classes and to evaluate the progress of their development under the Union and any state. d. To present to the President, annually and at such other times as the Commission may deem fit, reports upon the working of those safeguards. e. To make in such reports the recommendations as to the measures that should be taken by the Union or any state for the effective implementation of those safeguards and other measures for the protection, welfare and socio-economic development of the socially and educationally backward classes, and f. To discharge such other functions in relation to the protection, welfare and development and advancement of the socially and educationally backward classes as the President may, subject to the provisions of any law made by Parliament, by rules specify. 6. The President shall cause all such reports to be laid before each House of Parliament along with a memorandum explaining the action taken or proposed to be taken on the recommendations relating to the Union and the reasons for the non-acceptance, if any, of any such recommendations. 7. Where any such report, or any part thereof, relates to any matter with which any state government is concerned, a copy of such report shall be forwarded to the state government which shall cause it to be laid before the legislature of the state along with a memorandum explaining the action taken or proposed to be taken on the recommendations relating to the state and the reasons for the non-acceptance, if any, of such recommendations. 8. The Commission shall, while investigating any matter referred to in subclause A, or inquiring into any complaint referred to in subclause B, of clause 5, have all the powers of a civil court trying a suit and in particular in respect of the following matters, namely a. Summoning and enforcing the attendance of any person from any part of India and examining him on oath. b. Requiring the discovery and production of any document. c. Receiving evidence on affidavits. d. Requisitioning any public record or copy thereof from any court or office. e. Issuing commissions for the examination of witnesses and documents. f. Any other matter which the President may by rule determine. 9. The Union and every state government shall consult the Commission on all major policy matters affecting the socially and educationally backward classes, provided that nothing in this clause shall apply for the purposes of Clause 3 of Article 342A.